What's happening, guys? It's Cooper Carter here for G66, and in this week's Fractal Friday, we're going to be checking out 8 of my favorite drive pedals to pair with high gain amps in the Axe-Fx III, FM9, and FM3. A couple weeks ago, I showed you guys 8 of my favorite drive pedals to pair with clean amplifiers and edge of breakup amps to take them firmly into overdrive territory, whether that's kind of a classic crunch or more of a traditional vintage lead sound. And I promised you guys that we would do 8 different pedals that I like pairing with high gain sounds, and I'm going to show you guys those in just a minute. But first, I'm sure you've noticed I've got 2 giant new speakers behind me. These are the MF10s from G66 that I'm checking out, and I've had a lot of fun with them the last couple weeks. They are made exclusively for G66 in partner with Red Sound. You guys can check them out if you're in Europe. There is not yet American distribution or anywhere else worldwide, but I have been told that that's coming soon. I used these in rehearsal last week. They sound fantastic. They have a 10-inch speaker, which may be surprising for guitarists coming from 12-inch land, but the 10-inch speaker makes them smaller, it makes them lighter, and it gives them a really nice clarity in the mid-range, which of course is where the guitar lives. I've been really impressed with these. I'm enjoying using them. There are also the LS8 speakers, which are a smaller version with 8-inch cones that you guys can check out if you need something a bit smaller, but still want to rock out. So here they are, my 8 favorite drive pedals to pair with high gain amps to get firmly into crushing high gain territory. All right, so I've put together 8 different scenes here with 8 different drive pedals. The first 4 scenes, I'm going to be using a fairly high gain Plexi 100-watt amplifier. And I would put this more in kind of the vintage 80s kind of era as far as what I've dialed in here. It's high gain, but it's not a modern djent or metal type tone. We'll get to that in scenes 5 through 8. So our first scene features an absolutely classic pedal, the Face Fuzz type, which is based on, of course, the Arbiter Fuzz Face. Everyone from Jimi Hendrix to Eric Johnson and everyone in between has used this pedal to great effect. And I've got it dialed in here for a really gnarly fuzz. One of the great things in Fractal land is that you can access more settings to tweak your sound than you would have on the actual pedal. So here I've gone into this tone page and just made a couple of adjustments to the mid and the treble to get the sound that I'm looking for. Don't forget that you can dive into these pages and even get more advanced with a graphic EQ and the advanced page to shape your tone if you're not seeing what you want on this first page, which is what you would see on the actual pedal in the physical world. I'll play you guys a clip without the fuzz on, and then I'll kick it on and you guys can hear what it's doing to the amp. Next up, we have an absolute classic. I'm sure many of you watching have owned this pedal or had it as your first distortion pedal, the DS1, based on, of course, the classic Boss pedal, the big orange drive that everyone had on their pedal boards back in the day, and many still do. This one is based on a modified version that applies the Keeley Seeing Eye and Ultra mods, which were very popular mods for this pedal. I've got it dialed in for a fairly low amount of distortion because this Plexi is already pretty overdriven and I don't want it to be incredibly saturated, but with this pedal, you kind of get a lot right off the bat, so this is a pretty distorted sound. Next up, one of my all-time favorite pedals for big lead sounds, and this is one that Eric Johnson, of course, has put to great effect, the TubeDrive 4-knob based on the Butler TubeDrive. This one has a 12AX7 tube inside of it. It is an absolutely beautiful pedal, and again, it gets you very firmly in Eric Johnson territory. Now, there's a little bit more gain happening here, or a lot more gain than what EJ would use, so I've called this scene EJ Plus, and it sounds a little like this. My very first distortion pedal ever, the Proco Fat Rat. This is a snarly distortion pedal. Some people don't like this sound, but it can be great when you're trying to take a biting solo. You really need to pop out above a mix, and you really want a snarly, aggressive tone. So moving into firmly modern high gain amplifier territory, we have the USA JP2C on the Yellow Channel, which is of course the model based on John Petrucci's signature amp from Mesa Boogie. And I've gone ahead and put a T808 mod, which is based on, of course, the legendary TS808 from Ibanez. Now, this is a very common use for this pedal here with high gain amps. If we put the drive very, very low, we can tighten up the amplifier. So if you've got some flubbiness in the low end, if you're looking to make it a little more aggressive and a little bit more focused, this can be a great way to do that. Now, on the Axe-Fx and the FM9 and FM3, because we are in fractal land, there is another way to do this. We can simply go into the preamp of the amplifier and then add a boost here, and we can select 808 and then turn on this boost, and that will give us the same effect. But I'm going to show you guys what it sounds like if we use the drive pedal, which is more of a real world physical use of this, since you wouldn't be able to do that on the amplifier. So again, here's the amp alone without the drive, and then I'll kick on the drive so you can hear how it tightens it up and makes it a little more aggressive. Scene 6 features the Compulsion Distortion LP, which is a pedal based on, at this point, the legendary full-tone OCD on the low peak setting. I absolutely love this pedal for leads. I use it all the time. I've dialed in a good bit of drive, at least for my playing, and a pretty high level. This is a fantastic pedal for a lot of sustain, and I love how it grabs notes when you're picking really quickly too. Scene 7 is based around the Tone of Kings type, which is, of course, you've probably guessed, based on the Analog Man King of Tone. I absolutely adore this pedal for everything from clean to mid gain to high gain. Here, again, I'm using it to tighten up the amp and really give it a great focus in the mid range. So again, here's the amp without the pedal and then with it on. Now last, and I'm sure a few of you will say certainly least, but I'm not going to, you either love it or you hate it, the M-Zone distortion based on the MT2 Metal Zone. You cannot deny that this pedal can take any amp and turn it into an absolutely raging shred machine. So what I've done is dialed in an incredibly clean amp. I'm gonna play a little bit clean and then with one click, take the amp into the absolute metal zone. All right, so there you have them, 8 different drive pedals that I like to turn to for the really high gain type tones. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing those. Did I do your favorite one? Did I miss your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. I really enjoy hearing what you guys use in your units. And as always, check out the preset in the description below. A lot of you guys have been asking if you can get the preset. I always post it on the Axe-Change, and there is always a link in the description so you guys can click that, download it, drop it in your unit, and check it out whether you're on the Axe-Fx III, the FM9, or the FM3. Do also check out, if you're in Europe, these new MF10 speakers. I've really enjoyed them, or the LS8s if you're looking for something a little bit smaller. And as always, if you guys want to dig even deeper into your Fractal unit and unlock all of the secrets of the Axe-Fx III, the FM9, and the FM3, go to classes.coopercarter.com for my complete Fractal Audio Masterclass series. I'm Cooper Carter for G66, and I'll see you guys next week on Fractal Friday.